Welcome back to another episode of That Don't Sound Right, a podcast about talking. We're your co-host. I'm Peter Billman.
I'm Cecil Davis.
And we're just trying to have a conversation like we usually do without Googling or fact-checking. Those things can so easily kill the conversation.
And you had a conversation killer this week?
Oh, well, we tried to. So Bunny and I were talking about a movie we had just seen because we don't watch that many movies lately. And so we were watching one on Netflix. And we could not remember the movie. We started figuring out, okay, these are the characters.
Had you seen it before? Or you wanted to see it?
No, we had watched it.
Oh, okay.
We were trying to recall it. We were trying to remember. We were telling somebody, it's been 2 years since we watched the movie on Netflix. So we watched one. Right. And we could not remember the name. Then we started recalling the characters. And Bunny started going for phone to IMDb. No.
IMDb it? Or what
Internet movie database. IMDb. And so, no, we got to work this out. And so we just paused and she got her phone. No. Eventually figured it out.
Did you figure it out?
We did figure it out.
Without using Instagram or not Instagram, but the internet?
Yeah, we eventually came to what it was called.
Good.
That was fun. It was fun.
That's good.
It easily killed an hour.
So this week we're going to pull something from the headlines, as they say.
Straight from the headlines?
Straight from the headlines. And we've done this a few times.
Another thing we ripped from the headlines was Francine.
Right. That's right. Last week.
The very mean squirrel from San Rafael, California.
And NC Man was from the headlines.
Plenty of headlines about North Carolina Man. What's this one?
The Louvre.
Oh, right.
The robbery at the Louvre that happened, I guess, early this week.
You clearly read the article.
I read part of the article.
Okay. The first paragraph?
Read the first paragraph.
All right.
Looked at some pictures. So we'll sketch it out for everybody. If you're not familiar with this, there was a robbery at the famous museum in France that happened at 9:38 in the morning.
What day of the week?
I don't remember what day of the week. So evidently the museum opens at 9:30.
Okay.
This happens. So it wrapped up at 9:38. I think they actually entered at 9:34.
All right.
So it was during the hours, and the way they got in is they backed a lift truck up like a cherry picker, that ladder, to the side of the museum, and went up the ladder. And the pictures I saw, it had like a little escalator ladder thing, like a little bucket.
Okay.
They broke in the window and then smashed a few of the cases and made away with some crown jewels from the Napoleon era.
All right.
Really? And now, that's the base story of that. Yeah. But there's a lot there that doesn't sound right.
Like what?
Well, first of all, if all the heist movies, rarely does it take place during hours.
Right. It's at night.
Yeah.
They're sneaking in. There's lasers everywhere. They're having to crawl through things.
Yeah. So the first thing is that it took place right after opening.
This is a smash and grab.
A smash and grab right after opening.
All right.
And there's people in the museum.
Is it during the weekend or is it during the weekday?
It was during the week, I believe. I think it was I don't remember what day, but I think it was during the week.
Okay.
The second thing
that's probably a good piece of information to know.
To have.
Because if it's during the weekend, then there's a different staff that's working.
Right. You might not have your A team there.
That's right.
That's true. The second thing that didn't sound right is they were able to get in the window.
How did they get in the window?
I think they just, like another smash and grab, they just broke the window and got in it.
Okay.
So again, if you've got, let's say, a room, as they had, with millions and millions of dollars worth of jewels, you would think you would have some security on the windows.
Right.
You would not be able to get into them.
Right.
Yeah. So that was the second
thing. Did they have any tools or weapons?
They had cutters with them.
What kind of cutters?
Like battery-powered cutting wheels.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What do they need those for?
I think they use those to cut into the window, the frame of the window.
Oh, okay.
Because they break the glass or whatever, they kind of cut it so they can get in.
So that should have sparked. You and I use cutting wheels.
Yeah. This
generates a lot of sparks.
Yeah.
And you would think that would have brought someone's attention.
Now the whole
which
thing
makes me think the B team is there. That maybe the guy who's or gal who's really in charge, but not there then, said, Pierre probably has a project going.
Right.
I'm sure it's fine.
And from the
They look all official. They got a lift truck. They're wearing bright orange vests. They got hard hats. They must be very official.
they were dressed like workers.
There you go.
Yeah.
Would you even question? Let's say you were in the Louvre and you were near that window and the grinding was going on. Would you have said anything?
Not during hours like that. I
Yeah,
don't think.
exactly.
Plus, I wouldn't think you'd be able to get from maybe the front door of the Louvre back to where this is very quickly. Because you have to remember, the museum's only been open for 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're at one of the further away rooms.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't sound right. So they get in the window. And you would think at this point that maybe the jewels would be behind reinforced glass.
Something strong.
Something very strong. But they broke the glass, smash and grab, and there were no alarms on the cases. So they were able to...
the breaking glass, I would think, is enough to...
I used to think that, but I had to break a window one time.
Yeah.
It makes very little sound.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Really?
We're used to hearing the glass breaking on a TV show. It doesn't sound like that at all.
But I think episode 25, this goes way back, man.
Yeah.
Episode 25, what do you want us to do?
Yes.
You were woken up by breaking glass.
Yeah, now that was a 6-foot shower door shattering.
Right.
That
self-exploding, right?
Yeah.
Spontaneously shattering.
But like shattering a small piece of glass.
A rapid, unplanned disassembly.
It did. But like I shattered this window one time, and it did not make as much noise as I thought.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
It did. All right, so they're in. They shatter the cases. They get the crowns, and they go back to the ladder truck, get back in the bucket. And if these pictures I saw were true, they ride the bucket back down.
Well, how else would you going to do it?
Not quickly.
Well, they don't go
slowly.
quickly.
Right. They get to the ground.
They're looking, but to the people on the outside, they still look official.
Right. They're still just working. Yeah. They get on scooters and they disappear into the Paris traffic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, I did hear something about them trying to set that lift truck on fire.
Yes, they tried to burn the evidence, but it didn't catch.
I wonder what they tried to set it on fire with.
I don't know. I would think that would have been the easiest part of the heist.
Yeah, you just throw a match into the bucket filled with gasoline now.
Just let it burn.
Right.
Yeah, that was, and but during the getaway, they dropped one of the crowns, which was damaged. Yeah, so one of the crowns they were able to recover, though it's highly damaged. And then they got away with like a sapphire necklace and another crown.
Yeah.
So now you've got all these jewels. What do you do with them?
Well, Bunny had heard a piece on what they might do is they might try to disassemble the crown and take the jewels off and sell them separately. And the unfortunate thing about that is the diamonds are actually worth more in the crown than they are by themselves. And it'd be a pity, these people would say, if they went through that trouble to destroy the crown, because the crown is worth a lot more, both in history, but also in just value as a complete assembly than trying to break it up into little bits.
Yeah.
But I'm with you that this is all the makings of a movie. And if you're the investigator, you are now trying to find the buyer.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
You are the buyer.
You're trying to find who the buyer is. The other thing I read is that they can take the larger gems and cut them down smaller gems so they're unidentifiable.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they're still valuable because some of these things are
I imagine they're
really big.
I imagine that's even less valuable. Then.
Right. Yeah. So you're cutting the value down, but you make it less traceable.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But you've got to think that everybody's on high alert that if you start showing up with something, if you show up with a big sapphire right now, somebody's going to be asking questions.
Do you think they already had a buyer?
That's a good question. I think if I were doing it, I think I would certainly have a buyer.
I would think I would. Yeah, yeah. I think they already had a buyer lined up.
Yeah. I would love to have been there for the planning session for this.
Yeah?
Yeah, just because, it's a pretty unique crime that they used the cherry picker, broke into the, they had obviously done some scouting.
I wonder what the brainstorming session looked like.
Yeah. Because I mean, were they in the museum one day and said, "Hey, this is just regular glass.
Right.
The windows
We
are
can
just
break
regular."
this.
Yeah,
We can grind that off.
yeah,
It's accessible by the street.
yeah,
I guess their only question is anyone going to make a fuss?
yeah. And I think they bet right. Nobody made a fuss
Yeah.
necessarily.
Well, they picked the right day.
Yeah.
Maybe they also knew who was working that day, and they knew that anyone who knew anything wasn't going to be there.
Or even if they knew how the guards made their way. Like, again, if this is pretty far back from the entrance,
Yeah.
they know that no one's really going to be back there for.
And by the time they got it open and into the room, it was open. And when I still would have thought that windows would be alarmed.
You would think an alarm would go off somewhere if you got
especially
millions of dollars.
especially any exterior window. I would think that would be alarmed.
Yeah, I mean, we.
Do you think they would? I wouldn't think they shut down the alarms during the day, even though there are people in there. I would not think you shut down the alarms.
Well, there's lots of questions right now.
Maybe they had bars over the windows. Well,
Yeah.
we don't need alarms because we have bars.
Right, or second story window. Who's going to climb up during the day?
Oh, has any of these people not watched movies?
I guess not.
I mean, you can rappel up a window. All
You
right?
can rappel flat like Tom Cruise did.
It can be done.
But it makes me wonder how many other art treasures in the world. There was an art heist in America that was never solved.
Which one?
Where they went into it was like an art museum, very very similar to like Renolda House.
Okay.
So it wasn't a big art museum.
Right.
So a house, and they had some very invaluable paintings.
Yeah.
Someone broke into a very kind of basic alarm system, stole the paintings, and they've never been recovered. Yeah, but that makes me just think how much stuff is out there that's not really under heavy alarm systems or heavy guards.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously most of the Louvre is not right.
Yeah, obviously the Louvre's a big hit.
I wonder if how they determined that.
What?
If that? I mean, they had to have determined that that window was not alarmed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how they determined that.
They probably cased it. So it's interesting now if they go back and look at the films to see if somebody was in that room like repeatedly over a couple weeks, like looking in the windows, checking out the windows.
Do you think it was an inside job?
Oh,
they had insider information.
Yeah, they may have had insider information.
This sounds like they had inside information, because how would you know whether or not the window was alarmed? Because you can conceal all that equipment. That was a big risk. I mean, here you are grinding, and the alarm goes off. What's your explanation?
We're just working on the window.
Pierre told me to do this the other day.
I got a work order right here.
Right. I wonder if they had a work order. They even kind of extend the illusion.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever they did, they got away with it so far. I think the thing that gets them now is that if they don't stay quiet about it.
Right.
I mean, you've got to be you can't tell anybody anything.
Right, but how can you not, man?
Yeah. You've got to.
Wouldn't you want to tell somebody?
So if we stole a train.
We would have made a podcast about it.
Well, that's true. But like if we stole something like that, we couldn't tell anybody.
Right. No, we couldn't.
Because as soon as that circle starts getting bigger, man.
Yeah.
Then you get into trouble. You'll be able to trace it back. But then what, how do you sell it? How do you move it? You can't talk to anybody.
Right. That's why you have to have a seller. A buyer already in advance.
And then you have a buyer that's going to buy the crown intact because they're an unscrupulous buyer and they just want to have the Napoleon.
Right.
Or do you have someone just ready to buy the jewels?
Right.
Yeah.
Or they're going to buy it intact, but they're going to disassemble it themselves.
Yeah.
I suspect they had a buyer, and this buyer doesn't show off their collection. That it's a personal collection. It's a private collection, and they sit in their room with they don't have a ring camera. They sit in their room and they just enjoy the stuff that they've acquired.
Yeah, the antiquities.
Yeah.
Now, my other question is how do you drop something like that on the way out? You'd think everything would be secured in a bag.
Yeah, maybe they forgot one. Maybe if they forgot their, or maybe they just had a. Well, you know, plastic bags I think are illegal, are not allowed in Paris.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to have plastic bags.
You think they just had them stuffed in their pockets?
No, I don't know what they did. They had the improper. They definitely had the wrong bag.
Right. Yeah. So something falls out on the way out.
Yeah, maybe that was a piece. That was a detail they forgot.
Yeah.
Because you really need a satchel, right? You need a bag, a messenger bag, jam it in there. Off you
and
go.
again, you have to think they don't care what condition anything is, probably.
Oh, I would think they would.
Unless their buyer is saying, "Look, I want this intact."
Yeah.
So and then you have to be careful with how you pack it, get it out, all that sort of thing. So it's like, when they steal art, the ones that were stolen in America, they like cut the frames out, cut them out of the frames,
roll them up.
Roll them up.
Well, I wonder how the conversation went with the buyer. You're missing a crown. Where's my other crown?
Yeah, and everybody's like, they're checking their pockets.
I think I dropped the boss.
Would you have chosen a scooter as your getaway vehicle?
In France? In Paris?
Maybe in Paris.
Yeah.
Right, because you could blend in.
You could blend in, and you can outrun a car.
Yeah.
You can fit in places that cars don't go. And it's easy to stash a scooter.
Right.
You have to have a car parked, and it's easy to have an unmarked scooter. It's difficult to have an unmarked car.
Do you think any of those scooters are? But don't you, especially like if they try to get away on like a Lime scooter?
I don't think it was a Lime scooter.
They may have declined their car.
I'd be surprised. I bet you it was more like a Vespa.
Yeah.
Those can go fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. It's something they owned.
Right.
But again, those are traceable.
Maybe not. Maybe they don't. The ones that they used were not traceable.
Right. So do you think there's going to be a lot of copycats now? I mean, if it's that easy.
It won't be at the Louvre. It won't be at the Louvre.
You would hope not.
I think there's going to be a lot more security at these museums. They're going to look at their windows. They're going to figure out, do I really need to put alarms on these now?
Well, the report said that they had like suggestions for security for a while.
Oh, really?
That they had turned down.
Ooh, probably said, no one's going to climb that window.
Who's going to climb the window and break into it? Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a big miss.
Right.
If someone said, you need to make sure this window is alarmed, or you need to make sure this case is more sturdy.
Like even the gyms, like if you go to, I guess it's the Museum of Natural History in Washington.
Yeah.
So the Hope Diamond's there.
Right.
But it's like on the third or fourth floor, if I remember.
And it's in the interior. You're not breaking through a window.
It's interior.
Yeah.
And the case itself seems pretty.
I don't think you could break it.
I don't think you could get into it.
I don't think you could break it.
And none of it seems very high tech. It's just like by the time you got to that floor, got to that room, and got through that, there's so much time you wouldn't be able to do it very quickly.
Right.
And they would have you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there was some kind of security presence in that room too.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt like the security was hard. I'm sure they probably have it where if you were able to break that piece, alarms would be going off. But then you got to get out of the museum.
Right.
But it looks like these cases are like right next to the window.
Right next to the window.
Yeah,
right.
You could almost have broken the window,
reached in, and off we go.
Yeah. I wonder why people have such fascination with crime. Like maybe not everybody does. I tend to be a little fascinated with crimes like this.
Oh, you're fascinated with the crime.
Yeah. With I think stealing's wrong. I don't think it, but it is interesting. Like there was a bank robbery in North Carolina one time that was very interesting because the guy robbed the bank, walked out the front door of the bank, got in a cab, and was going to the airport and the way they caught him is that he got caught in traffic.
No way.
And the cab got stalled. But otherwise, like 5 minutes either way, he would have gotten away with it.
Really?
Yeah. Just it was very, like the thinking that goes into some of these crimes to me is very interesting. I think, probably the basic bank robbery that happens, there's not much thinking. Somebody's desperate.
Right.
I knew a guy that robbed a bank one time.
Wait, you knew a guy?
Yeah. Yeah, he used to work next to me, in the store next to me. Knew him well. Knew him for years.
Yeah.
And I forget all the things that happened that led up to this, but it was kind of a desperation thing. And
Okay.
after he robbed the bank, he basically just turned himself in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like a desperation move. And that's what I think like a lot of these robberies are.
Right.
But the ones that have like thought to it,
Yeah.
like this one where someone thought, okay, these windows are weak.
Yep.
We can have a truck. We can break the glass. Those are kind of intriguing to me that
Yeah.
somebody figured the puzzle out and was able to kind of beat the system.
And that's why I believe they had a buyer.
Oh yeah, because why would you do it?
Because if it's that well thought out, then you have an end game,
right,
in mind.
Right.
You know where you're going to go. It's
yeah.
Oh, I've got these nice crown jewels. Now what am I going to do with them?
Right.
No, you already knew what you're going to do.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
yeah. That this one was planned out well enough that they obviously were smart enough to have a buyer.
They didn't even need to be well financed. You had to rent a truck,
right.
buy some vests, and have access to some scooters.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's not like Ocean 11 where they had to buy they had to go get the nuclear device to like knock out the power in Vegas and rebuild the thing, and had to have millions of dollars up front to even do the robbery.
Right. No, this was.
I mean, this was a budget.
This was low tech.
It was very low.
Very low tech.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so what did they spend? So let's say they owned the Vespas to begin with. There's no cost there. They may have owned the grinder.
Yeah.
And tools, hammers. So no cost there. So they rent the truck for $100.
Yeah. Right.
And some yellow vests and hard hats.
I wonder if they're going to be able to trace who rented it. I mean, you got to put a deposit down, unless they did cash.
Yeah.
But even so, you have to give them a name and an ID.
Right.
I mean, if you're renting something out to me, you're going to want to know who I am so you can track me down if I don't return it.
And why try to burn it? I mean, what evidence are you burning?
Maybe your fingerprints or DNA on the bucket, but I would think there's enough DNA between that and the breaking of the glass. It's gonna.
You think it's
I would think so.
But it is fascinating to me the people that try to put all the pieces together and circumvent something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You don't sound right. You've come to the end of this episode of That Don't Sound Right.
Well, we want to thank everyone for listening and watching. If this is your first time on the podcast or first time on the YouTube channel, you're one of maybe a dozen. So welcome.
And if you were one of the 500 that watched what was the episode?
I was on the rock pile. I was on the rock piles.
If you were one of the 500 that watched the rock pile episode, tell us why you watched it.
Yeah, let us know. At least let us know how you found it. Yeah. Hit that subscribe button on the platform you listen with. Drop us a line. We have an email, tdsrpodcast@gmail.com. We love to hear from folks. And if you have a chance, leave us a rating or review so others can easily find us and join the conversation.
That Don't Sound Right is a production of TDSR Podcast in conjunction with Campbell City Studios. I'm your co-host and sound engineer, Cecil. Peter is your other host. Camille is our barista, and she made coffee for us tonight.
There's something going on in the near future.
Yes. Well, actually today, as you're listening to this episode.
What's
when
today?
you listen to the episode, the 25th.
And that's going. What is that day?
That is her birthday.
Happy birthday, Camille!
Our barista's birthday. Well, this will air on her birthday. Emily's our graphic designer. Ella does our Instagram. Giorgio tests our merchandise. Brent is our international brand ambassador.
No questions here.
And as always, listener number one is Scott. So until next week, keep talking
and stay curious.